Hello, second year students, and welcome to our course English Phonetics and Phonology. This course is designed for students who wish to improve their pronunciation and in turn improve their listening and speaking skills. And at the same time, it is also intended for more specialized people like teachers and researchers who wish to obtain a wider understanding of the theoretical background of the English sound system. What are the sounds that are used in English, and what are the theories that explain the nature or the features of these sounds and how are they used in the language. But before we go deeper into the details of the English sound system, there is a list of quite useful terms that every student of English needs to know. First of all, we'll start with the term language, which is in simple words, it is a system of communication or a means of communication, whether it is spoken or written. Now, as a system of communication, language helps us express our needs, our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes. And as I told you, it could be spoken or written. And every community in this world has their own particular language. But each language in our world has different forms, different varieties. These varieties are called dialects. So what is a dialect? A dialect is a particular form or a variety of a specific language. For example, in English, the standard English has various or different varieties, different forms. We can say different dialects. For example, the American dialect, the American English dialect, the Australian English dialect, the British English dialect. We have the Irish English dialect, Scottish English dialects, and the same is also true of our mother tongue, Arabic. We also have different dialects of the standard Arabic language. So again, a dialect is a variety of a language which indicates from which a person descends. It also indicates the people, educational background, social classes, okay? And as I told you, the geographical area from where they descend. So a dialect is a variety of a language which indicates individuals' geographical area, educational background, social class, sometimes even the type of work they do, and it includes differences in grammatical structures, which is related to the sentence structure, word order, and vocabulary items, as well as pronunciation. So it includes differences in sentence structure, vocabulary items used, and the pronunciation, the way of pronouncing sentences of that variety of language or a specific variety of language. For example, if we take the Welsh English or Irish English, of course, there are what? Differences in the sentence structure. There are differences in the word meanings or vocabulary items they use. And of course, the difference is quite clear in the way they pronounce sentences. Now, an accent could be part of a dialect because accent focuses on only the way we pronounce, only the way that the sentences are pronounced or the speech is pronounced. So accent is the way of pronouncing words of a language that shows, also it shows or it indicates which from which a person descends, from which geographical area an individual descends or comes from. It reveals the individual's social classes, ages, and educational backgrounds. It's something related to the way you pronounce sentences, phrases, or all the speech that you utter, in which accent you are speaking out. So an accent could be part of a dialect. Sorry. Still, two people speaking the same accent cannot speak, for example, a specific sentence in the same way or identically in the same way. So this is called a dialect, that every person has his or her own way of pronouncing sentences of a particular variety of a language. This is called a dialect, and it is a quite characteristic of every person. So maybe two people cannot pronounce the same sentence identically, in the same way. Each one of them will pronounce the sentence in their own way. Okay, this is called a dialect. For the purpose or to achieve the purposes or to meet the purposes of our course, we need to choose a model accent and try to practice it, learn its rules, how the sounds are pronounced within that model. And the most widely used accent, which is, let's say, almost known for most of AFL learners, is received pronunciation. Received pronunciation, which is nowadays called BBC pronunciation or the British accent. And of course, the British English has different accents, tens or hundreds of accents. But the accent we are going to focus on is RP pronunciation, which is widely used all over the world because it is used in pronunciation dictionaries like Oxford Dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, Longman Dictionary. We have Collins Dictionary. It is also used by most teachers of English as a foreign language in all over the world. So it is very well known accent, and it is also used by the newsreaders and broadcasting channels like BBC. This doesn't mean that the BBC broadcasting imposes that accent to be learned. It doesn't mean that you have to learn that accent in particular, but since we are using it as a model for our course, it is a quite practical and useful for your academic achievement to learn the rules of this accent, okay? There is another accent which popped up in recent years called estuary English. What does that mean? What does that mean? Estuary English. What do we mean by estuary English? I got that question in one of the tasks. It will be posted on G Classroom, and I want you to answer. What does it mean? What is estuary English? Sorry, what is estuary English? Is it a new accent of English? It is an old one?